Going on third month here. We can notice, even if you look at the silhouette here, you can still kind of see the shape of what was done last time, but then again, it's really, really heavy. So you can't, the waviness doesn't really pop. The sides are just too, like the top is just too heavy that it's flopping down on the side. So we're going to be addressing a lot of that. We're going to be losing quite a bit of length from the back, just because given his styling preferences, he doesn't really groom it that much. It's kind of like a get up and go mullet in the back. So I'll have to keep that in mind when I'm doing the back as well. Only thing that he didn't restrict me, but he wanted to, is to try to keep the top a bit longer. I said maybe we'll be able to do that, but what we're gonna do essentially is strengthen this line a little bit here, get it out of his eyes, maybe somewhere over here, layer into it as well. And then for the sides, they're gonna be all natural and scissored in, and then we're gonna get a bit tight by the temple to do kind of like a low or a mid taper. I'm thinking a mid taper just based off last time. Another key area to be aware of with Lance's hair as well is the back here. What you'll notice if you stand where I'm standing right now, his hairline, right? At the bottom and even the top, you see how this is really, really sparse, and then as you get to the sides, there's a little bit of density. So I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. I'm gonna have to at least take the hairline up till here, just so it looks a bit more even. Because even if we keep it long enough, there's still a risk of these hairs bouncing up, and then you just get corners, which if it's short enough, it looks fine, but as it grows out, you can kind of see how it's a bit shorter here. That's just given that there's not much density by the hairline here. So we'll have to accommodate for that. We'll be using a combination of line technique, a little bit of graduation, a lot of horizontal cutting today. Maybe not so much so on the sides, but we'll see when we get to there. Any questions? This will be combining pretty much all the techniques we learned so far: horizontal cutting, vertical cutting, clipper into scissor work. So this is why I like doing this kind of haircut for a class. You get to see a bit of everything. You get to see how we put scissor work together to meet our clipper work, and you can see how we can still take hair short without using clippers all the time, right?
So when you're like trying to keep this hairline even, would you be like using the nape and like this as a guide for the length of your hair?
I would actually use this as a guide, just because it's the sparse spot.
Okay.
But here's the thing: once I wet it down, it might look full. I might do two things. I might either use the middle as a guide, but even if I do, look at the length it's already at. Even if I use that as a guide, it's not gonna solve this, because if I leave this as it is and match the corner to it, I'll have the same thing, except maybe the wings are a bit shorter. So what I did last time was I went in here. I remember this haircut. I went in here. I took a diagonal section, and I clipped this away, and I didn't cut it till the end. Because that way, if there's a problem area that you're trying to isolate or something that's very reactive and you don't know what to do with it, you don't want to cut it early, isolate it, get to it after. Because what I did last time, I took a small section like this, I put a clip here, that means I don't cut it. I come in here and then I start doing everything internally, and then at the end, I drop everything. I see that this is too heavy. What I do is I layer it a little bit. I come in, I take my comb, I layer it so it doesn't fall so heavy and chunky. So I'm gonna show you how I think while I'm cutting hair, and just show you the process as well.